Who got the food? Who hold it?
We both got the food.
He's like, I'm not.
You're about to put me on the spot, bro. I know too many Trinis. I know too many Trinis, and I know too many Tobagonians. I'm gonna say
diamonds are going up, right?
Skyrocketing.
But isn't there an abundance of it?
There is.
So it's like, why is it?
But then you have to remember, and we're gonna get a little.
It's all controlled.
We're gonna get a little deep, and then we're gonna pull back. You gotta remember that
like,
the bears and all these. I don't want to use the word, but the diamond cartels control the diamonds. This gives the haves more time to cut up what the have-nots are not looking at. This gives them more time to pass bills that affect my life and yours in different ways, because we're trapped in a cycle. We're going around in a circle for survival. We're trapped on our wheel, basically, right? And I don't think this is talked about enough. It's times that we're on the edge, on the fucking edge of despair, bro. Like, nothing's going right for you. The week's just, the whole week and the whole world's just fucked up.
Yeah.
But just that little voice in you that's telling you keep going. When every fucking thing else is falling apart, it's a disaster all around.
Yeah.
And everything else is falling apart.
You saying my life right now.
And you are something within you that knows there is a seed of greatness planted within you that is waiting to bloom.
Yeah, man, it's a fire, bro.
It's a fire in your belly,
bro.
right?
Like,
It's a fire in your gut that's telling you keep moving.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. Like, some of the old people out now, like this new brand of old people, they different.
This new brand of old.
The new drop, bro. Some of the y'all, they could have kept it
up. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah. We got AKIEON in the crib. What's good?
What's good, bro? How's everything?
Fucking great, bro.
Blessings,
I'm
blessings.
blessed, bro. Highly favored and blessed. You heard?
All the time.
Yo, and I really appreciate you coming through, bro. Not many people not only came. Yo, bro, this guy comes with gifts, drinks. He chefed it up real quick.
Right here. And this is, alright, fire too high. Gotta lower this fire. This is real butter, not a vegetable oil.
Not that bullshit.
Not that vegetable oil bullshit. Real butter made from milk. Then, gonna melt this butter. To this butter, we are gonna add our aromatics and our seasoning. So first goes in onions, then goes in our garlic, our sweet peppers, our flavor peppers, and this is parsley, thyme, and the all-time favorite to be Trinbagonian seasoning, shadow benny. If you don't have shadow benny in your pot, it's not Trinbagonian. Remember that. Everybody just try here, right? Now, put the feet up. We're just gonna let them express their flavor a little bit. Add a cooked cassava to this pot. Just gonna allow them to marry. Pepper mill. We're using a pepper mill today. I haven't used that pepper mill since my grandfather. But my grandfather, but you would have liked this. So right here we have garlic butter shrimp on a bed of sauteed cassavas. We have butter cassava right here, or as you say, yuca. So this is garlic butter shrimp on a bread of sauteed cassava.
Sheesh. Delicious. Yeah, I got my homie Mercile over here. We're making music. And yo, he chefed up some delicious yuca which brought me back to my childhood because my mom is like super
Wow.
always on yuca, bro. Like she
Wow.
always loved yuca.
That's a staple.
Yeah, bro, it is. And eating it today reminds me that, oh shit, I need to start eating that again.
Yeah,
and
bro.
just like these foods make you feel good, man. So like, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you again.
You're welcome.
But I want to ask you, what brought? And I know it's part of, I guess, where you come from, right?
Right.
With how the food is brought up, right? But there's also a want. I'm sure there's people around you that don't eat this way or choose to eat this way,
That's
right?
true.
So what made you want to?
Because food is not just food. Food is culture. Food is history. You could tell a story through food, you know? So because of that, I wanted to always stay connected to my roots. So I chose to learn how to cook. And basically, that's what I do. I keep my food very local, even though I'm in a foreign country. I've lived here for like 20 years, but still, anytime you taste my food, you it's like you're getting a hug from Tobago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how food's supposed to make you feel. It's supposed to make you feel warm, like, you know?
Yeah.
You pour your love into your food, you taste it when you eat it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's
And
how
you
it
grow.
is. And you grow, exactly.
So being a chef or growing with food has always been a part of your life?
Always been a part of my life. My grandfather was a chef.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what exactly, like, what were some of the teachings besides with food did he teach you?
With the cuts, with knife cuts, that's him. But it was always a lesson with the food, you know? It was always something, bro. I grew up with my grandfather and my grandmother, so it's traditional. So like every Saturday, my grandmother would bake loaves of bread, like 25 loaves of bread, a dozen loaves of sweet bread, banana bread, cake, because we had a lot of bananas growing up in the yard. And she would by Monday we wouldn't have a loaf of bread. She would give most of these away. She would bake them, give them out to people in the village, give them out to her friends, give them out to sometimes people didn't really have. And, you know, it's not like we had a lot, but what we had,
enough,
we shared.
Right.
Yeah, so in that way, we were never hungry.
I really think it's like you'll have it one day and maybe you won't, but someone else will have it one day and they'll get you.
And they'll
you know,
get you.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Why is it called Trinidad and Tobago?
Good question. Trinidad and Tobago is a twin island republic. So Tobago is a smaller island. Trinidad is the larger island. So we kind of have a divergent history. Like at one time, Trinidad was ruled by the British. Tobago might have been ruled by the French at that time. And we became a ward of Trinidad because of Tobago was a mass producer of indigo, cotton, cocoa. And after the British basically led an invasion, the last Spanish governor, I don't remember his name right now, he decided for a bloodless, it wasn't even a bloodless coup, it was a bloodless takeover. They said, yo, either you get out of here or we gonna come in with our warships. And the British, like, Britain is a very small place. And you wonder, like, I used to wonder as a kid, like, how did they take over all these huge places? But it was their armada. The only armada that could touch the British and not even close was really the Spanish armada. Nobody else could touch Britain's
Regime?
naval superiority. They would
Better word.
Better boats, bigger boats, better boats, more boats, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why we're Trinidad and Tobago. We're a Twin Island Republic, so we're one country, but we're two separate islands with two separate even ways of life.
Really?
Almost, yeah.
So, okay, because people, you know, join the two when you say it. And so you think, oh, okay, this is one place. This is just one place.
Right.
But you're saying that it's completely different.
It's two places that are slightly different, yeah.
What ways? Political ways? Social ways?
Politically, socially,
All ways.
back to the food. Again, yeah.
Who got the food? Who
We both got the food.
Oh, he's like, I'm not.
You're about to put me on the spot, bro. I know too many Trinis. I know too many Trinis, and I know too many Tobagonians. I'm gonna say, boy, Trinidadians can't cook by Tobagonians, and I know too many Trinidadians who gonna say, how you go on that podcast and say we food not the best, boy? What happened to you, dog? What happened to you, boy? So it's
Yeah.
like our food cultures are slightly different. Like in Tobago, because of the African experience, it's a lot of stews. It's a lot of coconut milk being used. With Trinidadian being almost half Indian or people of Indian descent, a lot of curries, a lot of. But we're probably the most multicultural society in the entire Caribbean. You could find every ethnic group you could think of represented in my country.
Excuse me. Let me ask you a question. Because I've been wondering about this, right? So, I'm from Venezuela, right? It makes sense that you guys are more Caribbean because you're like an actual island, like off the mainland, right? But then, like, why do Guyanese people say the Caribbean if they're still a part of the mainland? Does that make sense? Am I fucking like am I delusional to say that?
You're not bugging. I'm gonna explain that to you.
Because I feel like it has to be something with Trinidad, too. Right?
It's
no?
because of not really, but I'm gonna tell you why. Guyana is the only South American country that their main language is English. They share almost the same ethnic makeup in Guyana is almost shared in Trinidad, as far as being both African and East Indian or Southeast Indian dominant in the gene pool. So we share that commonality from slavery times and indentureship. So that is why they consider themselves Caribbean, and the Caribbean considers Guyana Caribbean, because they're an English-speaking Caribbean country. They're an English-speaking South American country, which most countries in South America, they speak Portuguese or Spanish. Yeah? So that is exactly why
That's
Guyana
the case.
considers themselves here Caribbean.
I seen this guy one time. And I'm telling you if you have the same tradition, but his brother died, and they were putting his ashes in the water with milk.
Oh, that's probably Hindu.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's probably a Hindu tradition, more than likely, because they burnt him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
cremated.
So, cremate. So, yeah, with cremation, that's probably a Hindu tradition.
It's such an infused place, right?
Right.
I guess like everywhere.
But as I'm telling you, like moving to New York, it wasn't that much of a difference for me,
right?
because I'm accustomed seeing all types of people. There are people who are Trinidadian, born and raised, and they look British, they look white British, until they open their mouth and say, "Well, where the roti boy?" I'm like, what? We have Chinese, we got Chinese people, Asian people, Portuguese, we got like a bit of everything. So.
Everyone. And when you came here, how old were you?
I came here when I was 17.
Okay, so you had enough time over there.
Yeah.
You definitely had enough experience to bring you here with good perspective.
True.
For sure. It made you hustle.
True.
So that's why you're saying you're not just a chef, you're a hustler.
Hustler.
You do a bunch of different things.
Everything, bro.
You were going to show me something.
I was actually going to show you, like, I came through here with food, right? And you're wondering, like, why would I, not even why, but, like, where does this come from? It's like a whole tradition where we're from that we call it harvest, right? So I'm going to show you a video, and this is them.
Send me this video so I can clip it in.
I'm going to send you the video, but
not right now. Yeah, but send
right,
me.
this is them prepping.
I'm going to clip it in.
Right.
No, you can clip it to me. I'm going to
Show it to you, right? Yeah, so this is the prep. So this is the prep for harvest right here. So he's smoking whole turkeys. So this is the night before. That's right. And I'm going to show that to you in a minute. So these are the leaves that he's smoking right here. So this is bay leaf and different types of woods and stuff. To infuse it with smoke. Yep, so this is the smoker right here.
That's dope. But nah, you're going to show me something else with the clone. With the clone.
So, like, I have hobbies, like I'm sure everybody else does. Music is a hobby and a way of life for you, right?
Right.
For me, it's books and colognes. So I'm a part of a cologne group called the Fragrance Connoisseurs. So I decided to just bring some colognes out here and we're going to play a little game.
All right.
So you know it's summertime and everybody's getting ready for the summer and stuff. You want to go outside, you want to smell.
By the time this comes out, we in summer. So
We
already in summer, yo. By the motherfuckers seeing this shit, we in summer.
Exactly. By the time y'all see this, we'll be deep in the summer. So I decided to just bring out a few of my favorite summer colognes. And based on the smell, I want you to tell me, were they cheap or were they expensive?
All right. Yeah.
And let's see if you can guess which this is the most expensive one.
I'm gonna put the most expensive here and least expensive here.
All right. Don't be afraid, you can spray.
Shit smells fucking great. I'm gonna put it right there for now. Right here for now. Yeah, it's just amazing. Damn, shit's not that good too. I don't know. It's tough. I'm gonna go with that.
Final?
Yeah.
That's your final offer.
Yeah.
And you were almost totally correct.
Oh shit. That's crazy. Really?
Almost, yeah. I'm
What?
gonna give you one chance to move two things around and let me see.
What? All right. What do I definitely have right? Give me that hint.
What do you definitely have right? You have the lowest one right.
Okay. Damn, this is not that good. I'm not gonna lie. It's really not good. Yeah. I don't know, bro. I'm not. That shit.
Brother,
It's giving me a headache.
you are correct.
No, for real?
For real.
For real.
For real.
That's crazy.
For real. All right. So on the lowest end, we have Afnan 9 a.m., 9 a.m. dive. So this one smells like, you know, it's aquatic. You get the freshness. You get some
Are you
apple.
just saying I'm right?
No, you're right.
For real?
For real. I'm
That's
showing it to
crazy.
you after. You're right. So this is actually like a clone of Blue de Chanel and it's like a mix. Blue de Chanel, a little bit of YSLY, which is this one. This is Aqua Wood by Mancera. This is like, if you smell it,
Yeah, I know.
the
Smells
incense,
great.
the ginger. This one works great in high heat and long lasting. Comes in second. This is YSL, Yves Saint Laurent's Y. So this is like fresh cardamom. You got your green apple.
Smells good.
You got your pear and shit.
Right.
And if you notice, I had this one monogrammed.
Oh yeah. This is fire. I thought that was the name of it. I was like, oh shit.
No, it's actually I had this one done in store. This one. What do you think of this one?
What besides what do I? All right, I think. All right, so this one and this one, I think they both carry something similar. Am I right about that?
You're right.
All right, because there is something that I smell about it that, to be honest, it does smell rich. Like, it smells like
Expensive,
rich.
right?
Yeah, like. What's the question?
So do you what do you smell when you smell this?
That one?
Yeah. What do you smell? Like, name a fruit, name anything that you smell when you smell that. Any note that you can smell, definitely.
Like a flower? I don't know.
Smelling something, you smelling any fruits?
I almost smell like, not even fruit. Like, almost like a garnish.
Or something? Okay.
I don't know why.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't know, bro.
So that, like, the top notes of this is like pineapple. This is one of the pineapple bombs.
It's sweet.
It's because you can smell the sweetness, right?
Yeah.
And it got red fruits and stuff in there. This one is called Lamar by Kajal, and this is like one of my favorites. And he goes right here. And now this boy right here, in the fancy bottle, this is Mr. Herba Pure. This is Herba Gold. This is actually a flanker Herba Pure, and this is by
It smells
Zerzhov.
really good. I'm not gonna lie. Too big to that one.
This is by Zerzhov, so I'm gonna get ready to drop it on you in a minute, and that one too.
You know, I really like. I even took a picture of this shit. I'm gonna show you. And I'm not even really into colognes like that. But I smelled this one time and I'm like, yo, this shit smells amazing.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'll tell you if I find it. Hold on.
Cologne, like scent, they did research, right? And scent is the thing, like the sense most tied to memory. Didn't know that, huh? So you could smell
I've heard that before.
You could taste something and forgot where you tasted it. But when you smell something, instantly triggers a memory. So once you smell it before you smell it again, like you might smell something not smelling good. And you're like,
What is that shit though? It's you always smell like a lot of like Arabic people.
Wearing it?
Yeah.
Frankincense. Oud?
Oud.
It's probably oud, right?
Yeah, nah, it's definitely oud. Not even probably. It's definitely oud.
Probably oud. Yeah. So this is Herba Golden. Let me see if you... Can I spray this on you? And you tell me, based on what you smell. Don't rub.
Oh, okay.
Don't
You're
rub.
not supposed to rub?
You're not supposed to rub.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, see?
Damn, it shit smells amazing.
When you rub, how perfumes are constructed, right? It's top, mid, and base. So when you rub, you break all those molecules together so they don't develop like they're supposed to on your skin. And you shorten the life of the cologne.
Oh, shit.
So this one is the big boy. This is Herba Gold by Zerzhov. This is like 30-something a bottle. So you were right placing this one. You were right placing that at the top. That's niche.
It wasn't even about the bottle. It was dead ass about the smell.
The smell, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. See? So you get what you pay for. You smell rich.
That's crazy. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
all right.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you. Do you guys make your own?
Perfumes?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. What's the goal?
The goal actually is just like to spread perfume awareness, basically the gospel of fragrances, because it's not just a hobby for us, it's like a lifestyle. Every day we post what we wear. We have new members in the group. Because, fragrance is very personal. Some people have a signature scent, they smell like that every day. And then people like me, I switch it up, like every day I wear something different. But it's like fragrance tells a story. It announces you without you being announced.
Yeah.
Like your mom. What does your mom smell like?
Right.
What is your favorite memory?
Right.
I'm sure it has a smell associated with it.
Yeah.
Whether it be Christmas.
Or what's your earliest memory?
Exactly.
What's your earliest
What's my
memory?
earliest memory? Oh, jeez. I gotta think on that one. My earliest memory I could remember is walking to my great-grandmother's house, and it's tied to smell. I'm going to tell you how. Walking to my great-grandmother's house, a night that we went to, like, this festival. It was a night festival. And on the way to her house, she had a neighbor, and he had a flower bush, a white flower bush. They call it, if you're from Tobago or any Filipinos would know this. It's a jasmine, a night blooming jasmine, but they call it the queen of the night. And in certain places in Tobago in the night, it blooms at night. You could smell it really strong, really sweet, really fragrant. And that was like one of my earliest memories. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, my shit's not attached to smell. It's attached to like a fear.
A fear? Yeah. Oh, wow. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so fucking, my aunt had this dog, a poodle, and it was in the closet, and it had puppies, and they were like, don't open the door. And I opened the door.
Wow.
And the dog almost attacked me. The mom almost attacked me. And I fucking slammed the door.
Shit. Damn, son.
Yeah, it's my earliest memory.
How old were you?
Like, probably like 2 or 3, bro.
Shucks.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, you heard that shit with Terrence Howard?
Tell me, what happened?
He was like, his earliest memory was coming out of the womb. Like, he remembers being in the womb.
Really?
Yeah, but that's like crazy, right?
That's crazy. I don't...
But who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, he might be right. I don't know. Damn, nah, I didn't remember. I remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I remember that. Thank God. I remember getting squeezed and slapped on there. I remember that shit.
That's funny, man. Yo, so you was in the comments.
Right.
You was talking about, yo, this guy saying all this shit's wrong. Like,
right.
So talk to me. What's all wrong, bro?
Bro, he is, all right, he's looking at it from a religious standpoint. Like, this is what Israel is, and the Arabs decided to, like, in the Quran it says, which is...
And let's give some context. You follow the Quran, right?
I do not follow the Quran, but I'm familiar with it. I've read the Quran. And he said, you know, in the Quran it said that, or basically, I don't want to misquote him, the Palestinians do not want Israel to exist, which is erroneous. That's not true. Hamas doesn't want Israel to exist. And the same way there are extremists on the Palestinian side, there are extremists on the Israeli side. One of their prime ministers was assassinated after signing an accord for peace with Palestine by an Israeli. That's what they don't talk about that. Yeah, so it's a lot. And the sad thing is, I understand what terrorism is, as I'm sure you and everybody else does, right? And
I think it's a little bit complex, right?
It's it's so much more complex than what it's presented as.
Right.
On top of it being more complex than what it's presented as, it's people on both divides. People on both sides of the divide that are right, and people on both sides of the divide that are way wrong. Like, all right, from Israel's point of view, my priority is, like, saving the hostages, calling a ceasefire and getting an exchange of hostages. Get these people out, get them back to their families. They deserve that. But in almost every situation that the people who sit above the government or whoever they may be, they really don't see us, the people, as individuals. Your life doesn't really matter. There's a saying, like, for the greater good, or the greater amount, the greater good to the greater amount, or something like that. Meaning, like, whatever benefits the greater amount of people is the right way.
I've heard of that.
When obviously that's not how it is. Because, all right, if I take your white claw and it's 20 people behind me that want white claw, you have it, and you only have 10, and I took all 10, that benefits me because I got me and my 10 homies right here that have it. But what about you?
Right.
This was yours, and I took this from you.
Right.
But am I right for taking it from you? Exactly. So that's just what it is. It's like poor people dying, bro. The thing is, like, poor people are dying. Children, women, innocents are being killed in alarming amounts.
Right.
And it's like we're turning, and this is not only in Israel, this is in the Congo as well. And we're turning a blind eye to it, or even supporting, which is the word that they don't like to use, genocide. We're supporting that. Like, why? Israel cannot maintain.
Well, how are we supporting it?
We're supporting it, meaning not us, like me and you.
Yeah, but how are we supporting? Like, how
Our
is...
government is supporting it by, they're making all these cuts. They're sending, Congress is overwhelmingly approving these billion-dollar bailouts to these foreign, and this aid to these foreign countries. We look outside, we see how many homeless people live here. We know the conditions that we live in that could be better. Because the government's always like, we don't have any money, but where is this money for foreign aid coming from?
Right. It's not even real. That's another thing, right? Like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Money, and I'm not an economist, so I can't speak, right?
Right.
But it is weird how, you know, even how we look at gold. My mom, just to give you an example of things, right? She gave me this stone called lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. It has two different ways to say it.
Yeah, lapis lazuli, right. Blue stone, right.
Yeah. So this is man's first sought after stone. It was looked at as more precious than gold at a time.
Yes, that's right.
Now it's like nothing.
Nothing, right?
But now we look at gold for whatever reason we look at gold for. You know, and don't get me wrong, of course, gold is a really good component for many things.
Right.
Right? Even like connections of wires and stuff like that.
Good conductor.
Like, yeah, exactly. But if you're thinking about it, it's all perspective based. And who's driving that perspective?
Exactly.
Like, you know, like who's making it be like, oh no, this is the thing.
Exactly.
You want this. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with diamonds. I hear that the prices of diamonds are going up, right?
Skyrocketing.
But isn't there an abundance of it?
There is.
So it's like, why is it?
But then you have to remember, and we're gonna get a little.
It's all controlled.
We're gonna get a little deep, and then we're gonna pull back. You gotta remember that like, the bears and all these. I don't want to use the word, but the diamond cartels control the diamonds. So they control all these mines. They have mines.
You've heard Blood Diamonds, right?
Of course. You saw the movie too. You saw the movie?
No.
Never saw the movie?
I haven't.
You should look at it. Yeah.
I don't really watch movies like that, bro.
Really?
Yeah. I really don't watch TV. I have that shit there, and I don't even watch
TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm really like, my mom was always heavy. When I was younger, I would watch, but like she was heavy on never having me like play video games or anything like that. She was heavy on me just like, oh, talk to people or do this, do that.
Connection,
so I feel,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's always been that way in me, you know?
And that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because people are so socially awkward, bro.
Yeah. And it sucks because like, you know, I wake up happy to be me every day. Like, and I'm not even like saying it in a boastful way. I'm just like happy to be me because I know that when I go out, I make shit lit and I make it. I have a good time. You know what I mean?
Attitude, bro.
Yeah, it's everything. Everything's about your attitude.
It's your whole energy.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of people don't have that.
They don't.
All right, listen. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm on the bus, and this guy wants to get past me on the bus, and he stands there like this. And I just feel the presence behind me, and I turn around, and he's looking at me like this.
What the fuck?
So I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like, yo, you want to get by? He was like, yeah. I said, damn, you should have just said that.
Right.
And I stepped aside and let him pass by. But it's just, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like their society right now has gone to a weird place.
Yeah.
And the pandemic
made it weirder.
Did not help that.
Yeah.
During the pandemic became so impersonal. Because we have to be separated. Imagine your loved one die and you can't even go and pay your last respects. You got to pay through a screen. And that's what our society has become. The kids are being raised by phones and tablets and TV and TikTok, and we're not even going outside and enjoying outside like that anymore. And that's crazy. So could you imagine like 30 years how it's gonna be, bro?
I just don't think everybody's doing it. It's like anything else in any time period. There's always gonna be moments of distractions for many people. But there's always going to be people that just be like, nah, I don't want that bullshit. Yeah. So I think that is always going to conquer through it.
You think it's going to balance it out?
Yeah. And there's always moments that we come together as civilization.
Right.
Like for me, I don't really, I understand the importance of race and culture, but I also feel like it's our ultimate divide. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
I don't really believe in it. It's a fabricated thing created by people within that culture to create their people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
To create like separation and division, you know?
right, and power.
And
so
right.
it's easier for people to fall under and be manipulated by.
True.
And at the end of the day, bro, imagine this world didn't have fucking lines.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of their borders. Like it was just the earth.
Right.
Oh, where you from? Earth, motherfucker. Like, something else.
Exactly.
And we could just go everywhere, and help, Why can't we learn from everybody? Oh, okay, you know how to understand chemistry and physics. Teach me.
To create a better world.
Teach me.
Right.
Like people are very caught up with their knowledge.
True.
They want to hold it captive.
They want to hoard.
Yeah. Or vault it.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
So imagine us living here in this time and you over there and you have the cure for cancer. But
Well, they killed Dr. Sebi.
exactly.
So I feel like maybe that's why they don't fucking
So it's-
like
and we
people,
have we got to remember too that you're over here telling me that I could use natural stuff which
Right.
costs very little and achieve.
Nothing is free. It's from the earth. That's another thing. It's like what is cost? That's what I mean. It's
Right.
like, yo, bro.
Right.
It's so mind blowing, bro. It's so mind blowing. We have everything here, and we could teach each other everything, and we could just grow the shit, and we could just live
Right.
without egos, power,
Politics,
politics,
finances,
finances. I guess some people wanting more than others.
this system. Let's just
It's
call it
also
what it is.
human nature, right?
It is a bit because we humans by nature are kind of greedy. Humans by nature are kind of covetous,
Right.
but not everybody,
But how can we, as a people, think about the direction of using people's greed in a positive way?
I don't think it's
I
a positive way to flip greed.
I think that's why capitalism is the only thing that could actually kind of work.
Yeah.
And that's why this shit is the way it is.
That's what I'm saying. Because I mean, even with like communism, you come from a country who is considered a communist country,
Yep.
and the tenets of communism.
If they don't want to look at it, even if they don't want to look at it
like that, right? But the tenets of communism is like everybody is equal. I don't know if have you ever read a book by George Orwell called Animal Farm?
But I know who the author is. I've heard of him.
Right.
He wrote 1984, right?
Exactly. So Orwell wrote Animal Farm. I'm gonna run through Animal Farm real quickly. It's a farm, let's say in England, and he was making a commentary on Stalin's socialism, right? Or socialist movement. And the humans are running the farm. And they take the babies from the pigs and grow them separately and then slaughter them. The chickens make eggs and they never see the chicks grow up and stuff. So the animals come together and they have a revolt. And they run the humans out. And the pigs, being the smartest things, they form like a council. And this one pig called Snowball takes over. And first he ruled with a triumvirate of pigs. And slowly he got corrupted and he got rid of the pigs. So his main, well, they died in different ways. But his main, I wouldn't say enforcer, but his main support was this horse. And the horse was called Boxer. He was like a workhorse, a plow horse. And it got so bad on the farm because of his rules and methods.
Okay.
Like the dog who helped run the farmer out, she had puppies. And he took those puppies away and nobody ever saw those puppies. He took the puppies to the big house, right? So after, when things got so bad, the animals were ready to revolt. They're like, we can't deal with this. Like, what's going on? Because they made rules. And then he rewrote the rules halfway. Like the rules said, initially there was a rule that says all animals are created equal. And then he changed it to like, all animals are equal, but some more equal than others. So even like the pups that he took became his secret police. Like when they were about to revolt, He opened them doors, them pups came out like on gangster timing, like the Gestapos in Nazi Germany. And in the end, Snowball sold Boxer off for Glue, the horse that helped him win the whole revolution. And the animals climbed up and saw Snowball in a meeting with humans, which that was like against the rules. No humans, because we ran them out and we're taking over our own farm. And when they looked from one to the other, they couldn't tell where the pigs were and who were the humans, because they all looked alike, because they had become so much, the pigs had become so much human-like. And fell to the greed and corruption of humans. And when I read this book in high school, I was like, what the hell is this?
It's crazy that you read that book in high school.
Yeah. When I read that book in high school, I was like, what the hell is this? But after I reread it when I was like 22, I was like, I figured it out.
What do you think of it?
Excellent book.
No, how'd you figure it out?
How did I figure it out? Because I heard who I was challenged by a friend of mine to find out who Stalin was.
Stalin?
Stalin.
From Russia?
Mm-hmm.
They killed all those people?
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 million people?
2 million people, right. So we're going through and we're talking about like what makes people really... We were having a conversation about what makes people evil. Who's the most evil person ever?
But I think that's also like an overused statement. Can we honestly think that it's just one person?
No.
You know? And can we honestly think that it's even that person, or it's that person being used like a fucking
like
chess
a figurehead,
move?
right? But still, even being used as a figurehead, they're doing this in your name. You're still the person.
Well, let's break this down, right? Isn't he like... Wasn't he from Turkey?
I think he was Turkish, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Probably was. But
and then what he liked, he wasn't even that. What the fuck is that about?
It's like Hitler. Hitler wanted the perfect Aryan race. And if you look...
Oh, sorry, I think I meant that. I think I meant Hitler.
You meant Hitler, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, you wanted the perfection of an Aryan race. And you weren't, by Aryan standards, what was perfect.
At all.
You weren't 6 foot. You weren't blonde with blue eyes.
Right.
You weren't the superior race.
Right.
Same
That's
thing.
some weird shit.
Dog. Yeah. And that just shows you. Like how people, like the thinking of people, you know, bro?
Right.
As you were saying, why can't we just all share our knowledge?
Right.
Why can't we work together
Yeah.
to build and save and improve this planet that we're on for our children?
For the future, evolution.
For our children's children.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't have, we're not going any other place.
So many people would like to do certain things within this life, but are so caught up with the societal pressures that they will not even try.
Attempt, yeah.
And, you know, of course, every person should go through their experience of life to find that and go through those barriers. Because fuck it, right? Fight the adversity. But at the same time, if it's just an individual pursuit and you wouldn't want other people to experience that too, I feel like you're still lacking a part of life.
True.
That you will never be truly satisfied. Because it's, you know, there's one thing to be content with your life, but to know that the people around you are also content with their lives is even more of a blessing.
Fulfilling, right?
It's a blessing.
True. It's like, I had a conversation with a friend of mine recently about, you know, what your legacy is. And I had to really, like, think on that. What is legacy? And then I'm thinking to myself, you know, what have I done? What great moves have I made in my life that I will be remembered for? And then sometimes you think about the big picture, not looking at the small picture, you know?
Right.
Like, I'm thinking about my grandparents right now, and what was their legacy? And I'm thinking, I'm their legacy.
Right.
My grandfather taught me how to cook.
Right.
My grandmother taught me basically everything else.
Right. What are you going to do with those tools?
And I'm using them. But I'm thinking to myself, am I using them enough? Am I exploring my full potential?
I feel like if you're questioning it, you're not. Like I'm not questioning it, bro. I know that every fucking day, I'm really thinking about what can I do next. When I meet people don't. I mean, yeah, some people do hit me up to be on the podcast, but I set everything up. You know what I'm saying? And I do everything. I edit everything. I take care of this place. I take care of my dog. I work. Like you have to have. Like I said to my homie before, you have to have a hunger.
Right.
That hunger will drive
you,
your
right?
force.
Right? It does. It does. Like my thing is, like I've never been extremely impoverished, but I've seen extreme poverty. And seeing poverty, bro, makes me never want to get to that point.
Yeah.
So I get up every morning and think two things. Really three things. I'm thanking God for waking me up today. I have to. Because I've seen shit in my life that I don't know if you're atheist or anybody's an atheist, but if it were not for God, I know certain stuff would not be the way that they are. Certain things would not happen. I've seen things like God has moved in my life like supernaturally. You know?
Yeah.
And I have to give thanks to the universe, to God, to whatever powers may be, but to God for bringing me through my life. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for waking up and having an opportunity. Yesterday might not have been too good for me, but today's going to be better. And I always wake up with that perspective. That is one. Number two, I'm waking up thinking how I could make even more money than I made yesterday. How can I make $1 today? What can I do? And number three is how can I be of service to somebody else today? Whether that be swiping them on the train, whether that be doing a bottle of water, whether that be giving somebody a smile. It's simple. It's simple things that we could do to just make life easier for the next man.
Right.
How you doing today, brother? Have a good day. It's simple as that. And I never got that until there was this one lady who used to pass me every day. Because I sold books for 13, 14 years on the corner of Flatbush and Nevins. My first ever hustle was book selling. Well, not my first hustle, but my most profitable
So you would just get a bunch of different books?
My father was one of the first street vendors with a book stand. So he had a book stand and he would stock history books, like Toni Morrison and different stuff. And when urban books came along, which was like books written for an urban audience with themes of sex, drugs, murder, like Power, but in book form, he was one of the first people to ever sell those books. Besides being one of the first people to ever sell, he was the first person that ever had a book signing, street lit, which is the term, a street lit book signing. Like one of the best known authors today in street lit is AKIEON. AKIEON has wrote for 50 Cent before. He wrote a story called Baby Brother, right? And back in the day, I'm gonna tell you a business, Quan. Back in the day, he signed with a company called Triple Crown, who was headed by Vicky Stringer. Now, I ain't going to go too much in Vicky's story, but Vicky was the former incarcerated queenpin from Columbus, Ohio. So he spent like 15 years in federal prison.
Oh, shit.
Came out, she wrote her story called Let That Be the Reason.
That be the reason?
Let That Be the Reason.
Let that be the reason.
So it was her retelling her life story. And she got rejected, I think, like 17 times.
Be that way.
And then she fell into Upstream Publishing, which was A&B Books. And she told her story. And based on that, she decided to start a publishing house because other voices out there were they were sending letters to her like, yo, I read your story. I have a similar story. How can I tell it? And she became a publisher and she named her publishing company after her former drug crew. So it was Triple Crown Publications. I'm mad I didn't bring any of the books.
Shit.
But I'm going to send them to you.
Yeah.
I'm mad I didn't bring any of the books.
That's fine.
So K1 was one of her first authors, if not her first.
Huh.
So she partnered with a guy called Shannon Holmes, who, if you know anything about street books, Shannon Holmes wrote Be More Careful, hood classic. So she partnered with Shannon Holmes.
Why is it a hood classic?
It's a hood classic because it was like, all right, how street lit went back in the days in the 70s, it was Donald Goines and it was Iceberg Slim first, then Donald Goines with like Whoreson and Dope Fiend and Daddy Cool and stuff like that, right? And then there was like a debt in black books. Like it was a story, it was a thought. Black people don't read. You want to hide something from a black man, a colored man, put it in a book. You've heard that before.
I've heard that before.
Right, so it was this pervasive lie that we don't read.
Right.
And then when we started, we had people like, we had the Toni Morrisons with Beloved, and we had authors of that ilk, J. California Cooper, which is one of my favorite authors. I love her to death. And we had that type of Alice Walker and stuff like that, right? But those were books that were like, you're in school, you're not reading your experience. As an inner city kid, you're not reading your experience, right?
Most of the time.
Most of the times. Before books like Man, Child in the Promised Land or Monster by Monster Cody, you're not really reading your experience. Right. That's why Donald Goines was so successful. He spoke about the whores and the pimps and the dope fiends, things in the 70s that were going on and that he knew. But you're not really... So for me, as my teenage years and stuff, and I'm reading Shakespeare, Romeo, the Romeo, does thou lovest me, Romeo? I'm not identifying with that shit.
Yeah, or Macbeth.
And Macbeth. But I identify now with the themes of Macbeth, the three-wayed sisters and the patricide and
well, you understand
all
why
that
the
stuff.
foundation lives, so on and so forth. But it all kind of stems back also to the Bible or to these religious texts, right?
A lot of it does. And the Bible, and whether it be myth or whether it be religious texts. So it was like a book reading. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to read a book a day. Every day. The longest book I ever took to read was a book called The Silmarillion by the author who wrote The Lord of the Rings, J.R. Tolkien, right? So the Silmarillion is like the history of the elves. And the first Dark Lord, Morgoth, who was Sauron's boss. Like, he corrupted, like, even as you were saying, religion. Morgoth was like Satan. He corrupted Sauron, who was like an angel. So Sauron fell with him. Sauron became his general, but Sauron could change shape. So it was the history of the elves. So Morgoth was the big bad before Sauron, and I wish they would do a movie with that. Like, the elves had set up like paradise, ruled by Anu and the other spirits. Even Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings is not really a wizard. He's like a spirit, like a lesser angel, right? And Morgoth decided like he wasn't going down like that. So he went with a giant spider called Ungoliant and destroyed the two lamps which were supposed to represent the sun and the moon. So the Silmarillion is like that story, and it's like 700 pages. And I read that shit in a 12-hour flight.
Oh, damn.
And that was the longest, at that time, that was the longest I ever took to read a book. Like, I would
took the whole 12 hours just to read that?
12 hours just to read that. It was a flight and a layover, and I read that shit. And
you got into it.
Right.
Yeah, because you can imagine the words.
Exactly. So, like I'm saying, after that, I was like, bro, when I hit 12, 13, I don't want to read no books. And then I came here and I picked up The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier, and I'm reading it, and my mind is blown.
How come?
Because it spoke to me. Like, went to Santiago, young chick, inner city, her dad's a kingpin, blah, 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 blah. Coming here every summer, growing up, I'm seeing certain things. I'm looking at hip hop, even though hip hop at the time was like highbrow. Like, in my country, you have soca music. It was more dub. It was more Beanie Man, Lady Saw. It was more that, right? But hip hop is coming. You're listening. You're hearing Tupac. You're hearing Biggie, especially like Trinidad and Tobago at that time. We were into a lot of. It was the divide. So you had people who was listening to East Coast.
East Coast rap.
East Coast rap, I met Biggie when I met Biggie. So,
How old were you?
bro, young, like 7.
You remember it?
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember it because, this is funny. I'm walking in, there was a store downtown called Brooklyn Underground on Fulton Mall, right on the corner. There's a TD Bank there now. And it was Brooklyn, it's Underground, it was Underground USA or something like that. Or Brooklyn Underground, it could have been Brooklyn Underground. Bro, and I'm in there, I'm looking for a jeans, right? And this fat chick pushes me into, she was like, oh, Biggie Smalls, and pushes me like, whoop, straight into a rack of clothes.
You're a kid.
I'm a kid, bro.
Yeah.
And they're rushing in the store, and I'm like, who the hell is this fat guy? Who the hell is this fat guy that they're running, they're trampling over me to get to, right? And he said, he was like, yo, shorty, you good?
Oh, where?
Yeah, he asked me if I was good, and I was like, yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Bro, but I was feeling to cry. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was feeling like I wanted to cry, bro. Because I went face first into the rack of clothes.
Jeez.
And I came around the corner and I'm like to my father, I'm like, yo, Tokes, it's a fat man in there. And they're all like running up to him like he's some kind of like king or something. And my father's like, oh, that's Biggie Smalls. I'm like, yeah, that's what they were saying too. But I didn't know who Biggie Smalls was at that time.
Right.
But at that time, it was bootleg CDs and stuff. So then somebody put on one of his songs. I think it was probably Juicy. It was all a dream. I used to...
And you were 7?
Yes.
And you remember?
I remember that shit. I could not forget it, bro. I went flying face first. It's the first time I saw a celebrity. I didn't see Puffy, but I saw Kim that same summer, and Foxy actually lived up the block from us.
Okay.
So, I'm seeing all of this, and I went to my first baseball game too. I went to a Mets game. So I'm getting the experience. I mean, jump started into the American experience. Like, this is what it is. Like, I've never, like, celebrity. You see a singer back home, and it's a regular singer. They shop in the supermarket. You looking at them, one boy, and they say, cool. Marshall, I'm Marshall, a little dap like that. I'm Marshall, go his way.
Nice.
But I'm coming here, and I'm seeing a level of celebrity that's like godlike.
Why do you feel that way?
Because of the attention that was paid to him. Like, back home, you would see a celebrity and you just keep, it's regular. Hey, and we keep moving.
Okay, yeah.
But even with the attention that he was being given, he was really calm. He was really cool. He was just, because he was like, yo, shorty, you good? I'm like, yeah. All right. And I was like, cool.
All right.
Yeah, cool. Because, they're hanging all over him and they're trying to take pictures. And that time it was the cameras that you gotta wind the cameras up.
Right.
And they're running to take pictures and doing all of this stuff. And I'm just in awe that this man could have this presence,
Right. Yo, people have a good vibe to them. And they're put into places that will showcase it.
True.
And some don't. Yo, bro, so I got this part in the podcast where I ask the individual that comes, and I'm just like, yo, can you give me a question that I can take out into the public? And I'm going to go ask that question.
I would ask, if you could make one thing in the world free, what would it be?
That's a fucking good question. All right, if you can make one thing in this world free, what would it be?
Housing for the elderly.
Housing for the elderly? Why?
Because you got to take care of your elders. You got to take care of people that take care of us.
That's right, man. Thank you.
If you could make one thing in the world free, what would it be?
What would you do?
I would make food free.
Food?
Yeah.
Word, yo.
I'll make food free.
Word, yo. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Because, listen, it's so many people starving. There's so many people hungry, bro. Like, why do we have starving people on Earth?
Yeah, bro. And you know what? You're fucking right. Because everything else makes sense to buy. Because people had to make it.
Right. Right.
But God gave us this fucking food, yo.
Food is
like, why do we have to...
It grows.
Yeah, bro. And these motherfuckers dictate the price of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, all right, so this is something I learned in college. So, coffee. Do you know where most of coffee comes from?
Ethiopia.
Africa.
Yeah.
So get this. But then why isn't coffee price dictated from Ethiopia?
Ethiopians. Ah.
Do you know where it's dictated from?
No, where?
New York City.
The stock market?
New York City.
Where, who?
New York City.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ain't that some shit?
That's some that is some shit. That is some shit.
Ain't that? But why?
I guess we consume the most coffee in the
No.
world. Why?
I don't know. I just don't believe that.
You don't believe that
Do you believe what you just said right now?
that we consume the most coffee in the
Yeah.
world? Yeah, there's a Starbucks on every corner.
All right.
And a Dunkin' Donuts too.
Okay, fine. America runs on Dunkin'.
But beside that, we should not be the ones setting that price. We should not be the ones setting that price though.
Right.
Because even though we consume the most, what about the farmers who are actually growing it?
Right.
And why does it cost 50 cents? I'm just saying, 50 cents to get over here, and when it gets over here, it's $8.
Out of nowhere, just like
Skyrocketed.
it's like whoa, chill.
And I have a background in agriculture, so I understand.
But motherfuckers want to be like, oh, this is like grown and naturally.
Exactly.
And like, they
And
want to
it-
add
and
these fancy words
and
to
it
make
is.
it more. And it is.
It is, but still,
But still.
pass the buck to the farmer.
Right.
Let
right.
the farmer enjoy that because he's the one going
Eat.
out there and tending his field.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, farmers in America eat good. Apparently, I heard.
I've heard,
Yeah.
but
You know what I mean by that?
meaning that they make a lot of profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
And-
that too.
Yeah.
But I've heard that a lot. It's different. A lot of farmers have suffered due to even when Trump had his trade war with China. Like I have a friend that is a farmer, and he told me that China stopped exporting fertilizers in anticipation of Trump's Cold War on them.
Do you feel that Trump is gonna win?
Going to be bro. Honestly, I do.
Really?
I do. He has a very good chance of returning for a second term. Like Voldemort, he will return.
Like fucking Voldemort.
Like Voldemort, he will return.
Jeez.
And I will tell you why.
That's fucking hilarious. Yo,
Yo.
homie said like Voldemort, he'll return.
The Dark Lord will
Trump.
return.
Bruh.
The Dark Lord
Yo,
will
say
return.
what's up, yo, say what's up.
Yeah, what's good, bro? Chilling.
Yo, say who you are, bro, you already
Yo,
know.
it's your boy Merciless. That Merciless nigga checking in. What's good?
Hey.
I'm going to tell you why. Let's be honest. Joe Biden went to Hot 97 and said, "Well, you're not really black if you don't vote for me."
Yeah. I remember that shit.
What?
He said.
Are you kidding me? And then he has a black vice president that did not claim, and this is a hot take, she did not claim her blackness until after she lost her bid for presidency. And then all of a sudden now she is a African American vice president who, before she lost her bid for presidency, ran as basically an Asian woman, which she is because her mother is Indian, but her father is black. Her father's from Jamaica.
Yeah, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, that's what I'm talking about, bro. All that shit doesn't matter, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's humans that are fucking with humans. At the end of the day,
Listen.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And I know that it's always going to matter, and that's why this shit's always gonna be like this.
Right.
But the thing is, bro, at the end of the day, everyone's fucking each other's shit up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? So you're trying to tell me that America's the only place that doesn't do that shit to their own people? Or like, you know, that people don't do this shit, bro. Like, that's why I mean, like, we need to have a deeper conversation in terms of what is the real conversation. And, like, no, for real, like, what is the actual meaning of life for people? Or is it to be caught in this work wheel?
The struggle, right?
Right, the struggle, and no, bro.
The
like,
struggle, and it's like you're chained to a fucking wheel.
And it doesn't matter what race you are.
It
And that's
doesn't
that's
matter.
what I'm saying.
It
Like, at the
comes
end
down
of
to
the day,
it comes down to
bro.
the economics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter what
Right.
color you are.
Right, because everyone's gonna be in a fucking rat race at the end of the day.
Exactly. You could be white and broke. You could be black and broke.
Right.
You could be Hispanic and broke.
Right.
You could be Asian and broke. We're
Right.
all trapped in the same
Bubble.
bubble.
I think in terms of race.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so boom. In terms of race, I feel like everybody pretty much is prone to having a fucked up experience in the U.S. From me in this country. Some are just more based on statistics, based on like you said, economics, statistics, backgrounds. Like some races are more likely to deal with certain. Where was I going with it?
And certain stigmas based on their
Stigma.
race, right?
Not even just stigma. Some people are more likely to go through certain struggles and experience certain stuff than others. We'll all experience a fucked up experience.
That's true.
Some are prone to have worse.
True.
Yeah.
Especially like if you have a language barrier. Like if you come to this country and you're not English speaking, it's harder for you. As well as the color of your skin. Cause look at, let's just be real. Look at the refugees that came from Ukraine, as opposed to the refugees that came from Haiti.
Right.
And if we want to be real about it, and if we're gonna go into history, Haiti helped America win their civil war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haiti helped Venezuela. Haiti helped
Venezuela.
Everyone. Everyone. To be honest with you, Haiti was the first country to be
Independent
free.
independent from the yoke of the oppressor, from the yoke of the colonizer.
But then also when you speak to Haitians, then like they would also be like, "Yo, our people are fighting people."
Still.
And but that's what I mean though. Like at the end of the day, bro, all this shit is just a distraction, bro.
It is.
The fact Haiti, Venezuela, America, all this is just names that are not gonna even be names in 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying?
Not, right.
You know, but you know what I mean, brother? Because that shit wasn't called that 10,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago.
Right.
My island was called Haiti.
Right. What I mean. So that shit right there, for me, is what I'm talking about. We need to get to that conversation.
True.
Because if we keep bringing up, oh, because I'm black, or oh, because I'm white, or oh, because of this, yo, people are mostly caught up in their egos and what they lack through their insecurities. And that is more so of a conversation to have and talk through with everyone, you know, and that can bring people together because in reality we're all very similar to a degree.
But we are.
To a degree, not everybody.
Listen, we're more alike than we're different. Let's just be real. We're more alike than we're different at the base level. We might differ on culture, we might differ on location, we might differ on where we live, we might differ on what our experiences were. But we are all, at the end of the day, human beings. Our needs are still the same for every one of us.
Exactly.
But we tend to just, I'm using these as like, we tend to separate analogies. So we're both perfumes, but I'm short and I'm gold and I'm tall and I'm blue. So guess what? I don't like him.
Right.
I don't like him. I don't like him. He's short, he's gold. I can't trust him. His cap too.
His cap too.
His cap too bright.
He be capping. That's true.
He capping.
Right. And that's the thing about it, right? Because people, it's almost even like, you know, when you hear girls talk like, oh, she has curly hair, oh, she has straight hair. Get over it. You know what I mean? Like,
Everybody's different.
Be grateful with what you have.
Listen to me.
Right?
Uniqueness, I think, is what makes us who we are.
Yeah.
What makes us special. I might see a tall girl pass down the street and she has a bald head. That bald head might make her stick out in a crowd.
Right. Like a pink bald head.
Exactly. She might have a bald head, but she's bad. She got a bad body.
Yeah.
You saw Black Panther. You saw them Doras.
Yeah.
Fire body. Yes, that one I want. And you might see. It's. I think we don't celebrate our uniquenesses enough, and we tend to like. Everybody wants to be one way. Like everybody follows a trend.
Right.
Everybody tries to be with whatever's in.
Right.
Whatever shoe is in. Whatever. Whatever.
It's rarely people that are being who they are, or they feel like they have to disguise themselves in certain places
to fit in.
No, to survive. I think it's fit in and survive. It's like there's an element to it,
right?
Because animals do certain things too.
Right.
They'll display themselves in a certain way even to get a mate.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the same. And I think that many times people within their own life may be caught up in the direction to take based out of the three factors. You know, their upbringing, the people that brought them up, and their environment. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's true.
people are constantly going to be within that influx, within that. That's them. That's them. You know what I mean? Whatever they're caught up in. It's very rare that people will have a perspective that is gonna bring people together if they don't find it within themselves.
That is true. I mean, listen. But I like why. That's one of the reasons like I try to spread happiness. You know? Because it's so many people, like going back to what I previously said. Sometimes your good deed for the day may not be physically outward good deed, feeding somebody, or giving somebody $5, or putting somebody on the bus. It just might be looking at a brother and saying, "Have a good day today, brother." Right. It just might be asking a sister, "Do you want me to help you with your bag?"
Yeah. You never know that little small gesture, how it could change the day. And don't get tight if someone's just like, nah.
Exactly. When I came to New York, I'm going to be very honest. When I came to New York, I thought people were rude. I said New Yorkers are rude as fuck. But living in New York for these years, I've got to understand that
it's not rude.
It's not rude.
Yeah.
It's just the way we are.
Right.
It's just that everybody's... I used to always see, like, New York for me was like, big, beautiful, a city. Right. This is what a city is. This is the city that I read about in all my little textbooks.
How do you feel about it now?
The same, but different. New York is, like, I've become part of the rat race. The race for survival in New York.
Right.
So I see it more, I understand more now. I'm like, this is why everybody's so busy. This is why you're so unfriendly. This is why you are so caught up in your own little world.
Yeah.
Because you're surviving, as you said.
In this place. Well, it's a matter of what you want, right?
True.
If your desire in life is to have property, and your family isn't already rich with property in New York City, then more than likely you're gonna go outside of New York City, get property, and then eventually your children's children will probably want to come to New York City to get property. And the thing is that people are gonna go through their People are gonna go through their levels throughout life. I'm not at a place where I could get property in New York City. But to be honest with you, bro, I'm not even thinking about property. I'm thinking about my passion and being able to live with it. You know? And people want property, people want this, people want that. It's just like, yo, bro, I just want to have a great time. Live life, and eat well, go to the gym, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, have a good time, bro. Like, I don't think that people are necessarily always even happy with their life, even if they think they might be, because they are obtaining something that was created for them to abide by a certain structure, so it could feed it. So it
the
could
system,
right? So I always tell people, bro, like, I feel like you need to find your passion before you die, and be able to live with your passion, because you have to live in this society. True. You know, you're in it. True. And I don't necessarily believe in the whole revolution until we get to the point where we're not looking at culture and all these excuses.
Culture and color and socioeconomic.
We're not going to be able to actually have a true revolution.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's still going to be like Animal Farm.
Right.
Some animals are equal more, some more than others.
Right. Exactly. Or jealousy, ego, pride. All these like
All those
little
things
things that
that keep us
drive
separated.
men and sometimes women too.
Of course. When we say
insane.
men, we say mankind. We don't mean
Right,
just the males.
Exactly. But the thing is that how do we move forward within this bitch? For me, I feel you need to find your passion. If you find your passion, at least you can find your own purpose and reason while you're alive. I feel.
That is amazing. Because I'm going to piggyback on that. I think the most important thing in life is happiness. And not only happiness, it's, I'm going to go a step further, satisfaction. To be satisfied, to be content. Because a lot of people, you might have $1 million, but what is, as you say, your passion?
Right.
What do you love? What satisfies you?
Right.
Are you satisfied with $1 million? Or are you satisfied when you hit 10 million?
Well, it depends where you are. Imagine you have $1 million and then you head to Bali.
Now we're balling.
Now you're balling, right? Yeah, but if
Imagine
you have $1 million in New York,
and you head to New York City. That ain't nothing.
it's not that it ain't
Listen.
nothing. It's not nothing to a lot of fucking individuals who got way more.
One in every 10
this
people
bitch.
one in every 10 persons in New York is alleged either have $1 million in assets or $1 million in worth. So they have a
Right.
property worth $1 million, a car worth $1 million. Being a millionaire here is really nothing. But as you said, being a millionaire in Bali is being a millionaire in Bali. It's
Well, it
everything.
would be it's like being a billionaire.
That's what I'm saying. And that speaks to what is money? How are we in debt and we print our own money?
Well, that's the thing, right? The dictation of money and how we choose to arrive to that conclusion when there are certain goods that are coming from other countries and they're not the ones who dictate the price. So first we have to rectify that because that's the bullshit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
Because like if you think about it, I think that when you set things right and put things into motion, that is the way that it's actually supposed to,
True.
there would be less fight and less reason to do people wrong,
True.
disruption, chaos, all these things.
Conflict, but you have to understand what chaos feeds. While we, the everyday working man, trapped in the mire and the muck and the fighting against each other and the fighting for space and for money and for dominance and for survival, what are those who sit above? What are they doing? What are the haves doing? This gives the haves more time to cut up what the have-nots are not looking at. This gives them more time to pass bills that affect my life and yours in different ways because we're trapped in a cycle. We're going around in a circle for survival. We're trapped on a wheel basically, right? They're not because the money and the influence frees them. And I think the biggest lie with like government is that we serve the government. No.
They're supposed to serve us.
The government is supposed to serve us.
Yeah.
But we don't understand that. The president is supposed to be for the people. Your senator is supposed to represent you.
Right.
Your views. What are the major views? But they go in Congress and they spit their own lyrics. This is what I want. This is what we want.
Well, I think the very existence of America is something that is uncontrollable, right? Because, okay, you're expecting people from all around the world to come here and live here and then just all of a sudden follow this certain ideology of living. It's not going to happen. And it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, do your thing, bro. You already know. Like, it's...
Pleasure having you, bro.
Yo, it's never going to happen, bro. Like, it's never going to happen. It's something that people are always going to be caught up in. You good? Yeah. Okay. You're going to have to get up. Yeah, because that thing right there.
Bro,
It's never going to happen, bro. And, I mean, I shouldn't say never, right?
I was not going to correct you.
Yeah, I shouldn't say never. It would take certain pieces to move that I feel we're gonna have to tackle the ego in a major way. You know, because people in control, they're gonna have to realize at a certain point that it's not worth it. You know, it's further. I mean, you could probably think it might be, or maybe it is to them. But at the end of the day, they're not happy, yo? And isn't the person who's truly happy the richest person to you?
Yeah.
I mean, that is.
I
the person.
think, listen,
You know what I mean?
if you're happy and you're healthy,
Right.
you are the luckiest, most blessed, you're the richest person.
Right.
Because I could have $1 billion and a terminal disease.
Right.
I can't pay my disease to go
Right.
away. You know? Mm-hmm. So, honestly...
And youth, too.
Yeah, exactly. And
Your youth is the richest thing.
And not only, I think youth, I think strength and health. As we
absolutely.
said. You know, and agency. Agency, I think, is one of the things that we underestimate.
Be a little bit more descriptive on that.
Like agency, I mean control of yourself, control of what you're able to do, control of how you spend your money and where you spend your money and where you live and what you're able to do with whatever little you have.
Right.
Because some people said, you know, fuck it. I'm not doing this. Like my brother was a homesteader because he was in the army and got so disillusioned with Uncle Sam. And he decided he was going to be a homesteader. He's going to go live bordering the desert, basically. And speaking to him, he's happier than I was in my 9 to 5. Because he freed himself from that wheel.
The shackles.
From the shackles of, I wouldn't even say society. And my grandfather did the same thing back in
the
the 80s.
It's like mental
as Bob Marley say,
shackles.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds.
Yeah.
Have no fear.
You know what's interesting? You know what his last song was?
Which one?
Do you know it?
Which one?
The Redemption song. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Right? Like, why the fuck did they make it? Because you know they had to make it that way. Because who knows if that's the... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or maybe he knew he was going to die. I don't know.
Listen to me. Bob Marley was... And this comes down to being spiritual. Being spiritual to me is... I don't know... What does spiritual mean to you?
Spiritual, to me, means that you are in tune with the true frequency of the human spirit.
Right. Very good. Spiritual to me means that you are, as you said, in tune with not only the true frequency, but your true self. You understand what it is to be present in this moment, what it means to be a human being living in this time.
I'm glad you say moment. I'm a strong believer in moments. Even this podcast is a moment, but it will live on for, you know.
In perpetuity.
Right, exactly. But I'm always about the moment.
True.
Wherever you are, you should be about the moment. And that's how you make it a better experience. I feel like some people lack that also. The people that may be socially awkward or not wanting to do these things. And I feel like once they realize that it makes an experience, you can have a good time.
True.
It's as simple as that.
Bro.
You know?
All right, when I was younger, I was very self-conscious. I'm tall. I'm lanky. I was very, very skinny. And so I was... Your limbs not in your control. Your feet going all over. You're tripping over yourself. And I was very self-conscious. And because of that, I kept myself from going to so many different places because I was self-conscious without falling, without trip in front of myself. And then by the time I got to realize, like, bro, nobody gives a fuck.
Nah.
And even if they give a fuck, it shouldn't matter. Fuck them. It's about you. And sometimes I don't. It's not like you're being selfish, but it's like being spiritually connected. You first have to connect with yourself.
Right.
And like I love what you said when you opened with, "I'm happy waking up being me."
Yeah.
Because it's nobody else like you.
Bro, no one.
It's nobody else like me.
No one.
But until we realize that You are special and unique. I don't care. They said how many people on the earth? 6 billion people.
No, it's 8 to 9.
8 to 9 billion people. Wow, 8 to 9 billion people on this earth averaging. And until we realize that every single person is different, every single person brings something to the table. What are you bringing to the table? I'm bringing
7.9.
7.9 billion people.
Since 2022.
7 point. Wow, we making
So there's more.
we making babies out here. Until we realize that I bring me to the table. What do you bring to the table? I bring me. I bring me. I bring my unique perspective. Nobody else is like me.
Right.
Nobody else is like you.
Right.
And I'm bringing what I am to the table.
That's why I love this podcast, bro, because I always have different people on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you said what you said and like you were like, whoa, I gotta.
Yeah, exactly. Hold up.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what did I say?
Yeah, you said, bro, wait. We can do this on the podcast. Come to the
Right.
podcast and tell me
Yeah.
what you think.
Exactly.
And bro, it goes back to that. Like people, like I used to think that the conflict between Palestine and Israel was hundreds of years old. It is not. This conflict between Palestine and Israel
70 years old, right?
about. It started like it really got tense with the 1940s, and then in the 1980s they had what they call an intifada. You familiar with that word?
No.
It's an Arab word that means uprising.
Okay.
All right, let's go back.
Antifada.
Before even that, where is now Palestine and Israel was ruled by, it was part of the Ottoman Empire. And under the Ottoman Empire, it was a multicultural, multi-religious society. It was Muslims, Jews, Christians. Because in that part of the world, those three major religions more or less intersect. Jerusalem is a holy site for all three major world religions. After World War I and the Ottoman Empire was broken, Jewish people faced the persecution of the Holocaust and other things. Right. And now they're thinking to themselves, because it was Palestine originally, and Israelites did settle there. So now you're thinking to yourself, we need community. We need a place so we can be safe from the ills of the world, from the Hitlers and the genocides and the Holocaust and the just general hate of the world. And we decide, we're going to settle here and we're going to have Israel. But back then, Great Britain ruled British Palestine. Right? Mm. So
it was, yeah, I've and I don't mean to interrupt, but
go ahead.
I did hear this. Wasn't, people want to blame that the conflict is between them, but it's actually from Britain, right? Because it wasn't Britain the reason why they had to leave their homeland? Not necessarily the Israelis?
No.
Or because I heard something, I don't know if that's incorrect or not.
No, it may be. Britain wasn't the reason that the Palestinians had to leave their homeland. It was because the UN came in with an accord. I'm going to get the name of the accord for you. But the UN came in with an accord and...
You're going to have this in the background?
Yeah. Israelis believed in that. But...
The British allowed Jewish immigration.
Right, like as they said here, the British did allow Jewish immigration in the year 1918, 1919. They allowed that. So they were coming in, but if there's an influx of people coming into our country, the locals are going to get antsy if it's a major immigration of these people. So, they used to have little conflicts before, but nothing like this. This conflict only kicked up when the UN got involved and was signing this accord. Because Britain wanted to throw their hands up, like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these people. They're always fighting against each other. And Britain decided we want out. So y'all signed it. Israel agreed. Palestine did not. And it started from there. And it only got worse. With the first intifada, I think in 1993, like 1,000 Palestinians died. Because that uprising, because they're like, we're not going to sign this accord. We're not giving these people there. That even had what they call the 6-day war.
Right, but why did they have jurisdiction?
Pardon me?
Why did they have jurisdiction?
Israel?
No, Britain.
Because they were the conquerors.
That's what I'm saying.
And history always written by the conquerors.
That's what I'm saying, though. So there's more rooted to this, and there's more of a conversation that needs to be had. Because if people are constantly like, oh, fuck this person, fuck that person, well, who fucking set this shit up in the first place,
The British, the British as usual.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Yeah, as usual, you say that a lot, right? And isn't that also
Slavery.
No, absolutely. But isn't that also another expression that people constantly say a lot, that most of the problems of the world lead back to England?
The royals.
I mean, yeah. Britain.
They not even only them, the colonial powers. Britain, Spain, France. To a lesser extent, the Dutch.
Why do you say it like that?
I'm telling you,
But no, it's funny the way you said it though. Why to the lesser extent Dutch?
Because they were not as widespread.
Right, but they did have quote unquote knowledge, right? Because these motherfuckers stole this shit, right?
They did have both the knowledge and the wherewithal for the colonizers. They were the least of the colonizers, but it was places like Portugal, Britain, France.
Do you know what I mean by that, by the way? When
Wait,
I said that they stole the knowledge?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people constantly want to be like, oh, you know, these people created this. Did they? You know?
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Napoleon didn't go to Egypt and shoot the nose off of the Sphinx for nothing. Alexander didn't decide to make Egypt the capital of his empire, his later empire, for no reason. They knew what they were looking for.
Yo, do you know anything about sacred geometry?
Not much.
Okay, so this is the seed of life, right? And there's 8 circles. The flower of life is 36 circles, right? The flower of life was found in Thoth's temple.
Okay.
And this shit was lasered on like 6,000 years ago,
right?
Like lasered on. If you look it up, you could find it.
Right.
But not only there, it's found in different places around the world.
Right.
And that's something that Terrence Howard was also speaking upon in the interview. And I find that it's interesting because he was able to even develop this type of machine that will be able to replace cranes and be powered by itself. So not need any type of gas or electricity. But it could be powered by electricity. Right. But anyhow, the thing is that there's so many things here in society that are connected with math and how we view it. And what he broke down is that we're looking at it wrong. And there's a lot of math and chemistry that we're looking at wrong, and we can honestly be able to develop a lot more if we decide to just open our minds up to the possibilities. Right? Yeah, and it makes me think about it too a lot, right? Because, you know, people used to believe in the geocentric model, you know? And then it wasn't until Copernicus changed it to heliocentric. So it's like a matter of how you're going to view it in your time. Are you just going to follow whatever everyone else thinks?
Right.
And says,
right.
Yeah.
You know, you have every time I think human beings or humanity as a whole has made a leap, it's because of the weirdos. It's because of the ones who do not go with what society is saying is true.
Then I'm definitely a weirdo.
It is the ones who they go beyond what society thinks. They go beyond what is the norm. Every time a ceiling is broken, it's because that person decided to go further, faster, and they did not conform to what society says is true. Like, recently Rolling Stone, they gave, and no, it was Apple Music that gave Lauryn Hill last week the best album of history, best album of all time.
Really?
With Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And I find it hard
Lauryn Hill's dope.
I find it hard to deny that.
Right.
There are people who are like, what? And I'm like, how? Why not?
Yeah.
If you listen to her music.
Yeah, and her voice.
And her-
Like, come on. Like, at the end of the day, bro, like,
But listen to the words.
the words are great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, bro, there's a reason why certain people we like listening to more, because their voice is just fucking amazing.
Listen to me. It's,
Yo, Lauryn Hill has a beautiful voice.
it's more than just having a beautiful voice and
You have to have words,
and a
of course.
beautiful face. But no, listen, it's more about
the vibe.
that. It's the vibe. But Marley always said, when music hits you, you feel no pain. One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. You know?
Right,
Is what she was saying.
right.
Like, listen to Everything is Everything.
Okay.
Like, pay attention to them words. And what goes up must come down. And those on top, so convinced that they might fall. Let's love ourselves and we can fail to make a better situation.
Right.
Who made these rules? We're so confused, easily led astray.
hey.
Let me tell you that everything is everything. Everything is everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm listening to this, and my mind is like blown. I'm like 10, listening 10, 12. I'm listening to this.
Jamming.
And bro, I'm jamming because I'm vibing with it.
Right.
I'm like, yo, what is this?
By the way, we're sipping on El Dorado rum.
5 years. Trinis do not hate me. They had no Angostura. They had no 1919. Because otherwise than this, it would have been 1919. But I love El Dorado, so again, the Guyanese cunt them a bly over here, boy. The Guyanese them can't vex with me. Me bigging you up now. El Dorado 5 years.
That's funny shit. So, word, man. Like, what would you tell your younger self, bro?
Wow. I would tell my younger self, take more risk. Be easier on yourself, because I was really hard on myself growing up. I was a perfectionist. And I think to be human is to err. To be human is to make mistakes and to have failures. I'm the person who got 95 on a test and cried because I didn't get 100%. I was that person. I would tell my younger self, be easier on yourself. Open yourself up more to everything.
Possibilities.
Every possibility.
Right.
The possibilities are endless.
Endless. That's a fact.
And believe in yourself more. Because I struggled with confidence for a very long time. And
Why?
it was just that not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy enough, not feeling like I used to write a lot. Not poems, but stories. And other people years later would read my stories. They're like, oh my God, you wrote this? I mean, I'm always, as I said, I was the person who would cry when I didn't get 100%. So I'm reading this and it's good, but to me it's only 70% good. But somebody else would read it and they're like,
It's 100.
it's 100. Dog, it's
You
200.
bugging,
It's 200. You are bugging. And I think that's what my younger self lacked a lot, like
Well, I mean,
confidence.
it's also the understanding and kind of back to what you were talking to before with that woman. You're gonna hear a lot of no's before you get a yes.
True.
With everybody.
With everything.
Everything and everybody, and that's always just what's gonna be. So when you understand that, then you understand that fucking up is part of the process, and developing your sound and developing who you are and what you want to do is all part of the process. And you refine it over time. This is not. I want to make this podcast better. You know what I'm saying? Even better and better. But it's all about time and putting certain things into play to make that be possible. And then you also find out shit over time.
Yeah,
You learn.
Like you grow, you
educate.
learn, right? Yeah.
That's how it be. But all right, man. And what is something that you can share with my audience that you want to leave as a token?
Wow. One of the things that I want to tell your audience, and this is just anybody, life is good, and it's only getting better. And don't matter how far you fell in life, and this is general, this is for anybody going through it. It's up to you to get yourself up and make that next step.
Yep, big facts.
It's up to you to jump out that window. Not crazy now, not without a parachute. You gotta jump with a parachute.
Or a glider.
Or exactly.
Yeah, they just glide through the shit.
Exactly. But get up and make that next step. It's not how you fall down, it's how you get up. Get up and keep moving. Gotta keep moving. To be better yesterday, be better today than you were yesterday. And keep just keep getting greater. And even if nobody pats you on the back, if nobody tells you you're doing good, if nobody congratulates you on your wins.
Right.
Cause that's just human nature, bro.
Yeah.
We so busy downing each other and putting each other down, and we run into this one did this and that one did that, and everybody did something else. It's not enough of us uplifting each other. It's not enough of us speaking positive over each other. Cause words have power, yo.
Yo,
You know?
another reason why I have this podcast, bro, because I want to show to people that it's a matter of displaying. It's a matter of showing action and doing it.
True.
And I do that every single time.
True.
It's not about me. It's about the experience that the conversation brings.
Right.
And it's about mostly the other person.
True.
Because, like, the entire time I'm directing it, you know, it's not necessarily the other person's asking me questions. And that is something that I've learned that's helped me within my own life.
True.
And that's why I also display that, because I feel like hopefully one day people will also understand that within their own lives. Because it's a blessing, bro. I really, really enjoy being me, bro. Right.
It's no, everybody else is taken. Just be you.
Right.
Do you. But let me ask you something, because it's been on my mind. What is the story of this green giraffe?
Esperanza.
Explain that to me.
Esperanza means hope in Spanish. Hope.
Okay.
Right? So when I used to work at UPS, right, there was this Bloomingdale's was always throwing out shit. And they had this here, but it wasn't painted.
Right.
And I was like, yo, can I have it? They're like, okay. Like, I wasn't going to take it. But that day, I took the head. 'Cause I'm like, I can't take both of them at the same time. So I took that first. Took the shit to the train. I'm thinking the next day, okay, I'm on the same route. I'm doing that shit. Let's do it. Next day, put that shit in the truck. From the truck, from the station, I walked that shit to the station, bro, and walked it home. And got viral from, because someone recorded me putting it on the train, and it went viral on Subway Creatures.
I'm going to have to go look at it.
Yo, bro, funny as fuck. And I posted on my shit, but you have to go far, far down to really see it. And, yo, from there, I brought it here. I painted it. I used it as the backdrop.
You painted this yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used it as the backdrop to my album, and I actually took this shit into the city with a QR code to promote my album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Esperanza, huh?
Esperanza, hope.
Hope. Because I always saw this in the background for all your podcasts that I look at, and I'm like, yo, one of these days I'm going to ask him what is the meaning behind this giraffe.
That's funny as hell, man.
Yeah, that is so dope. Because I'm feeling, when I came in here, I told you I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah,
it might have been. No, before that.
You never seen this anywhere else, bro. I made this.
No, I'm not saying this, but I'm saying the giraffe statue.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
So this was in probably Bloomingdale. This was the display window.
Yeah.
Christmas.
I don't know.
More than likely. I used to go look at the Bloomingdale's and the Saks windows.
Bro, I used to, be like, yo, you throwing that shit out? Let me get it. Anywhere I would go. I'll take that shit. But, hey, do you have any other questions for me?
Where do you see your podcast growing to?
Yo, man.
What is the vision for your podcast?
My vision for the podcast is going to evolve, man. I'm just going to end up talking to the whole entire world, or different versions of the world, And,
right.
And I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn a lot about myself. I'm going to learn a lot about people. I'm going to learn a lot about everything. and hopefully it comes to a place where it could feed me, you know, and feed more than just, because for me, this is how I look at it. And it's funny that you asked, because I was thinking about this shit today. It's like, I thought to myself, if I didn't have to work, right, like at a regular job, I would just be working more with what I do.
Right.
Way more. And also be able to do way more other things. And I feel like a lot of other people want to feel that way as well.
True.
And do those things as well.
True.
But it's about setting these things in motion to make yourself be able to get there.
Listen, I worked for myself for 14 years. I've been self-employed from the age of 17 to the age of basically 30. So, 32. So, I've never known a boss for myself. I was the boss. I was the boss and the worker, you know?
Yeah.
So, working for UPS, working for a company, like, it gave me some structure in my life.
Yeah.
But it also gave me a perspective of, because it's so different, like, when you're self-employed. When you're self-employed, the capital is you. The everything is you. I've been self-employed, and I've been an employer. So the health insurance and the taxes and everything, you know, they are yours. You got to do all that. And sometimes it's good being an employee, but it's like I've been a outside cat for so long. It's hard to be a house cat now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a different experience when you answer to somebody.
Street cat.
I've been a street, exactly. I'm a street cat. I've been a street cat for so long that being a house cat, I don't know. It's not only a physical change, it's a mental change.
Like, I gotta shit in this box?
Exactly, bro. It's like, what am I doing? I have to answer to you. I'm 10 minutes late, okay? And I have to answer to you, and bro,
that's funny as shit, man.
Nobody understands that.
Nobody.
It's different. Like, big up to every person who is an entrepreneur. Big up to everybody who
they keep on doing it.
Does it for themselves.
And don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't
Do
stop.
not
Don't
stop.
You're inspiring so many people.
You're inspiring me.
For real.
Every day I wake up, I think about, what if this one never did it? What if my father never did it? Because my father never liked to work for nobody. He is such a personality that I don't think he would do very well in a traditional work setting. So he made sure that he worked for himself. He was his own boss. He did what he wanted to do. And doing that inspired me. My grandfather was a bit of both. My grandmother worked for herself mostly. So my idea of a business model doesn't mean that I have to work for somebody. My idea of a business model is that I could work for myself. And this is something else that I want to say, like the millennials. That is one thing I do appreciate about millennials. I do appreciate that about y'all. Is that you find ways to make money that are outside of the box. And you're self-employed mostly.
Self-sufficient.
And you're self-sufficient, not all the time, but you're self-sufficient mostly, that you're able to figure out a way to make it work and to make $1, and that is amazing to me. You know, I don't think we give them enough credit. We don't give these young kids enough credit for that. Because when I was 15 or 16, I wasn't thinking about, it didn't really exist, but I was not thinking about being a gamer online or a Twitch person online and making all these money from streams. Basically me just sitting down playing my video games. I wasn't thinking about that at that age. I didn't even know if it existed. I would think of it then. So I gotta give props to those who are doing it.
Right.
And extra props to those who are doing it not for themselves. For the single parents out there who are doing it for their kids.
Your family.
I grew up with, I grew up with grandparents who, when my grandfather could not work, when he got sick, my grandmother got up and got it. And seeing people getting it out the mud, it's like, it inspires you to do that. It inspires you to be able to get it by any means necessary.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what.
You gotta fucking tackle everything.
Bro, it's times that, and I don't think this is talked about enough, it's times that we're on the edge, on the fucking edge of despair, bro. Like, nothing's going right for you. The week's just, the whole week and the whole world's just fucked up.
Yeah.
But just that little voice in you that's telling you keep going. When every fucking thing else is falling apart, it's a disaster all around.
Yeah.
And everything else is falling apart.
You saying my life right now.
And you are something within you that knows there is a seed of greatness planted within you that is waiting to bloom.
Yeah, man, it's a fire,
it's
bro.
A fire in your belly,
bro.
right?
Like, yeah.
It's a fire in your gut that's telling you keep moving.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
It's like, yo, you be alright. You know what I'm saying?
Even though every step is punishment, bro.
Yeah.
You want to give up.
OD.
Listen to me.
Bro, son, listen. People gotta go through that emotion, though. But I feel like that's what gets the hunger. You know
but that is the fire that you're cast through. Mm-hmm. You know, diamonds only form under pressure, and you must use fire to purify gold. It's like this is what makes you who you are. You're going through those struggles. You're going through that time that shit is just going left, and like when life hits you, bro,
because it will.
It hits you.
It'll take the double take. Like, bah, bah.
Exactly. Bro, not even a double, it's up. Upside the head. Bro. And you're on the mat. Because life has you fucked up and you're on the mat, bro. You're bleeding. You're leaking.
That's a fact.
You gotta get up. You gotta get up.
You got to.
Like, bro, it's not even funny. I'm gonna talk to not only my younger self, I'm gonna talk to people who are out there. Like, suicide is not an option. Giving up is not an option.
Exactly.
You gotta keep going. It's no way that you're gonna just give up and say, bro, this is it. I can't do it no more, bro. This is it. No. If nobody else tells you, and I don't think we as people of color with all these traumas and all this past trauma that we have to live through, all this ancestral trauma, all this, because it's in the DNA.
Yeah, but all right, I know I'm not black, so I can't really say it, but like I'm gonna just say it because as an outsider, like how I feel about it is that, yo, bro, black people inspired me my entire life. So like, how are you gonna tell me that black people can't believe in themselves? Because the people that I've been inspired by believe in themselves, and they happen to be black.
Like who?
So it's like, yo, bro,
who's one of your major inspirations?
Huh?
Who's one of your major inspirations?
In life?
Yeah, in life. As you piggybacking on what you said, like black people inspire you. Who was like one of your major inspirations?
I feel like AKION is a major inspiration because he not only, started with his passion, but he went back to his homeland and brought light,
right?
And brought light,
water,
and brought and just did so much,
and built and helped.
Yeah, so I think he's a major inspiration. Who else is a major inspiration? I feel like. If we're talking about anyone? Or just,
anyone.
Okay. I feel like there's not many people that really, really inspire me. Like truly, for real. Like some inspire me in creative pursuits, but because that's such a deeper question for the world. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Einstein inspired. I feel like Martin Luther King inspired. Malcolm X inspired. I feel like Joe Rogan inspired. Inspired. I feel like Charlemagne the God.
Right.
Like there's people, you know what I'm saying, and it just shows like there's people, bro, that inspire, but not in the I'm tired, bro. Like I'm tired of it being just black, or it just being white stuff, or it just being this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yo, can we get past that shit? Can we just talk about like human shit, characteristic, experiences, all these things, like, you know what I mean, like that are more interesting to me.
True.
You know what I mean? Because all that shit goes out the window when you're talking about like what people actually face in society with their own people.
That's right.
You know?
Bro, it's so many different it's so many different people that inspire me, but like, I'ma say honestly, like my grandmother inspired me, cause her thing was
family too. Yeah,
she would never it was my grandmother and my great grandmother inspired me. It's like the fact that they would never give up. Like my grandmother basically learned to sew, learned to do this, learned to do that, and thinking from her perspective, it's like it's so many things that were against her at her time. She was a woman. She dropped out of school when she was 12 to help take care of her siblings. Not even 12, 9 to take care of her siblings. But she taught me to read. I was reading at 3 proficiently. I could read at a 6-7-year-old level at 3 years old because of my grandmother.
Oh.
She read to me and then she would have me read to her. And like, it's gonna sound funny, but my favorite thing to read growing up as a child was a newspaper called The Punch. It was like Playboy.
Right.
And I would read this.
Well, yeah, you know what? Because I feel like sometimes, don't get me wrong, I feel like we set limitations to kids. Like, oh,
True.
no, they're kids, they can't do that. But why not?
Bro.
This is fucking, it's going to be a little bit longer. You got to, like, go through it, but it's, you know.
Bro, I think the thing was, like, growing up, I never had, like, my friends weren't my age. My friends were the older people. And I'm talking, not even 10, I'm talking 60, 70. The old people. And it wasn't only because I had a grandmother, it was because I identified with them more. In my thinking, this is what I learned very early. My friend can't really teach me much because we're going through the same experience at the same time. But he been through it. He could tell me. So I would listen to them more. My friends would not inspire me as much as the older folks.
Right.
Because this is what I learned from it. I think that we have gotten away from a lot of that. Like some of the old people, oh no, like this new brand of old people, they different.
This new brand of old
the new drop, bro. Some of the y'all, they could have kept y'all.
Yo, that's
real.
the funniest shit I've ever heard, bro.
The new grandmothers, bro. The latest drop of the old people. They could have kept that for most of them. But for some of them, I'm for it because age is just basically a number and a concept. It's how you feel.
Right.
It's how you move and exist in the world. I know people who in their 70s who have more energy than me.
Yeah.
When I was in my teenage years, I used to run and do others.
Why don't you still?
Bro, it's just that I have to survive. And
Excuses.
that is true. Excuses, but I have to survive and I have to live and I have to. But you
Bro,
know
just
what?
do it. Just
It's
go back into it. Yo, I'm gonna hit you up again, and I hope by the next time I hit you up, you at least tried. Because yo, bro, like yo, you could do it. Yeah, just do it, bro. Just do it. Just do it, bro. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
No, it's no excuse.
Yeah,
There's
why?
No excuse.
Why the fuck not? You got time, right?
I got time.
There's time. There's time.
I got time, and thankfully I'm relatively healthy.
Right.
So you know I'm
There's
definitely
nothing
do
stopping
that. Yeah.
I bet. Yo, bro, where can the people find you?
People can find me on Instagram, AKIEON on Facebook, I think it's the same.
Okay.
That's where they can find me.
I bet.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, brother.
So yeah.
Ago, it's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.